Hey, what's shaking there, Bellringer nuts and living environment fans from all across the globe? Welcome to the Bellringer for today, Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. And of course, we're talking about photosynthesis. You know, I heard this great song yesterday, and I think we should play it a lot in class, don't you? Yeah, agreed. All right, let's do the Bellringer. Da 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 do 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 do. Da 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 do do. All right. Da 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 do do do. Hey now. Da 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 do do. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
It's interesting too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. It's a miracle how all the chlorophyll catches sunlight in the leaves of the plants and the trees. Oh yes, we were talking about photosynthesis yesterday, and today we're going to keep talking about photosynthesis. Remember, you got to go back in time to the time of the cyanobacteria when all this started 2 billion years ago. Cyanobacteria figured out how to take carbon dioxide and water, and harnessing the energy found coming down to Earth from the sun, was able to convert those two molecules into stored chemical energy in the form of carbohydrates, most specifically glucose. Cyanobacteria. They are prokaryotic. That's right, that means they have no nucleus. Okay, they have DNA that's floating around in the cytoplasm of their cell, and they have ribosomes and things like that. But one of the things that make cyanobacteria unique is they have a second layer of cell membrane that folds upon itself called the thylakoid. And trapped inside the thylakoid is a protein-rich pigment known as chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is a big, complex molecule, right? That's got like carbon chains and nitrogen in it. So it's like a protein, and it's held together by magnesium, which is an essential element needed by organisms that do photosynthesis. It's got a long chain of carbon stuck on it. Chlorophyll. There's actually two types of chlorophyll, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, that are a little bit different in their shape. But anyway, they are embedded in the cell membrane of the thylakoid. Right, and it's allowed cyanobacteria to absorb water from their environment. That was easy because they're floating in water, right? Remember, they have to let water in through aquipores. If they have aquipores, then the water will just move by osmosis. And they let carbon dioxide diffuse into the cell membrane, diffuse just by diffusion, right? And then they make sugar and oxygen, and then the oxygen diffuses out into the water through diffusion, simple diffusion. So you get this without you spending much energy at all. You harness the light of the sun to capture that sunlight energy in a molecule called glucose. Glucose, which by now you know is C6H12O6. That's its chemical formula, right? C6H12O6. Glucose. In modern day eukaryotic photosynthetic organisms, those cyanobacteria have evolved into what we call chloroplasts. Chloroplasts live in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells, and just like cyanobacteria, they have membrane-bound, all these membranes, which we call thylakoids, and embedded in them is chlorophyll. Right? And this allows them to capture sunlight, right, and then convert it into chemical energy in the form of glucose. Okay? It's kind of a two-step process I mentioned yesterday. There's the light side and the dark side. Get it? Light side, dark side. The light side is where you take water and blow it into pieces using chlorophyll and sunlight. The dark side, you don't need any sunlight. You take the leftover pieces, the hydrogens, from when you blew apart water, and you add them to carbon dioxide molecules, right? And you wind up, if you do that, spin it 6 times through what's called the Calvin cycle, you wind up with 1 molecule of glucose. Okay, so plants need to do both reactions, the day and the night, the light and the dark. in order to do photosynthesis. Lots more photosynthesis action to talk about and labs to do and that kind of thing. So stay tuned. But remember, tomorrow is our next book talk, right, about the hot zone. We started reading right at the beginning of the quarter. And then this Friday is our scheduled test, right? So that'll cover everything from cell membranes right up through what we study about photosynthesis this week. All right, so yeah, immunity, those kinds of things, antigens, antibodies, transport, passive transport, active transport, the fluid mosaic model, antigens, pathogens, macrophages, vaccines, antibiotics, you name it, it's on that test.